Hello, my name's Lucy Harmer. I'm a Feng Shui and space clearing consultant, and I'm also a published author, and I specialise in transformative and inspirational living. So my kind of aim with sharing my healing journey on these little series of videos is to actually inspire anyone out there that's been living with long-term chronic illness, that there are different solutions and alternative ways of healing, and also that there's hope. So my own journey started, basically, I had Lyme's and Epstein-Barr undiagnosed for 15 years. So for 15 years, it started off with not being able to lift a glass, that I had so much pain and I felt rusty everywhere in my body. And I went on to develop tinnitus and neurological tinglings in different places in the body, and being woken up at night every 2-3 hours with like deep-seated jabbing pains. So I kind of did all sorts of things, even went for bone scans and all kinds of blood tests, and also I did all sorts of amazing healing modalities, alternative modalities. Went to see a shaman in the States that actually cured my tinnitus at the time. And 3 years ago, I had a friend of mine who said, "Oh, I've been bitten by a tick and I have Lyme's disease." And I didn't want to say, "Oh, what is that?" And then I Googled it as soon as we finished our phone call. And I thought, I have 80% of all those symptoms. So I phoned up my GP and said, "Right, I think this is what I've got." And my GP said, "We never tested for that." So we went through and tested everything: Lyme's, Epstein-Barr, cytomegalovirus, etc., and came back positive with Lyme's and Epstein-Barr. So since then, I've also tried different things. Antibiotics worked really well, especially the first time. On day 6, I woke up with no pain anywhere in the body. It was like I'd regained my health 15 years prior. But the problem with antibiotics is it's 5 weeks, and then slowly 2 months later, 3 months later, everything just crept back, all the pains, all the rustiness in the hands, tingling. And I thought, okay, I can't keep taking antibiotics every 6 months. I took 5 weeks, 5 times antibiotics in the last 3 years. So I started reading up on fasting, and I chose to start with La Cure Breuse. Now, there's a very famous Swiss-Austrian physician that developed a cancer cure that successfully cured 45,000 people of cancer. And it's a 40-day method where you take herbal teas, a specific juice, which is beetroot, carrot, celery, black radish, and potato. And you don't eat at all for 40 days. Now, the aim is to, you've got to traverse what they call the second acidosis crisis. Breuse has a lovely book called the Breuse Method that you can get on Amazon, and which explains everything really well. And once you pass the second acidosis crisis, which for people is between generally day 21 and 40, then that's when your body really starts to kick in, and the liver, which doesn't have enough different nutrients or amino acids, actually goes after the cells that aren't functioning well in the body, so diseased cells, old cells, and starts breaking them down. And that releases a massive amount of toxins, but it's also what really helps you to heal. So I had amazing results with La Cure Breuse. I can walk up and down stairs with no pain for the first time in 18 years. I'm not woken up at night with deep-seated pains. But whilst I was doing La Cure Breuse, obviously I'm a very avid reader, so I bought every single fasting book that it was possible to buy. A very interesting book on fasting by Stephen Booner, and the other book was Starving to Heal in Siberia by Michelle Slater, which talks about how she cured Lyme disease through dry fasting. And I had a very good hour session with Doctor Filonov, which is where Michelle Slater went to heal in Siberia. And I actually realised during that session with him that it's likely with what I've done so far that the symptoms may come back again, because if you want to properly cleanse a terrain of any kind of bacteria or viruses, you need to not only remove sugar, which is obviously the eating, but you've got to remove water, because it's only actually if you remove the water that you will actually completely kill off any lingering bacteria or viruses. So that is the reason that I'm now in Montenegro. I know you can't see this on the video, but there's the most gorgeous sunset and sea in front of me. The place is stunningly beautiful, and I'm currently on my 3rd day of dry fasting, and it's going well. I did a very good prep before I came. The idea is that you can work yourself up slowly to be able to do a long dry fast. But I'd love to do a full 9 days, but I feel that whatever length that I do, it's a victory in my healing journey. And if you're interested, the Health Universe website is absolutely fabulous. They've got little 4 days, 7 days like cleansing programs, and they've got a wonderful 21-day program to be able to cleanse yourself and properly start dry fasting that you can do at home. And I'll tell you more about the next stage of my healing journey as it goes on. So thank you for listening for today. And today is my 4th day of dry fasting. And I'm from Switzerland, and when I told my friends about the fact that I was coming on a dry fast, they all went, "Oh my gosh, 3 days without food and water, you'll die." And so here I am, very much alive on day 4. And I have a lot of gratitude today. I'm in great shape, except for my throat and voice, which my throat is extremely dry, and I may sound slightly hoarse. But otherwise, I have a lot of energy. I went for a 2-hour walk along the beach this morning, and it's not a sandy beach. It's kind of stones and rocks, and I haven't walked for 2 hours on a beach with no pain at all in an extremely long time. So I'm terribly grateful for that. I'm also extremely grateful to Doctor Filonov and his entire team for all their advice, and especially Svetlana, who is a brilliant organizer and makes sure that everybody is coping and has the right kind of care and attention that they actually need. And I'm very grateful to my body for supporting the dry fast and also doing whatever healing process that it needs to go through. I've had no nausea whatsoever. I've had no pain. I do put that down to being properly prepared. So anyone that is thinking about doing a dry fast, I highly recommend it, but make sure you get the right kind of preparation before you go and do even a short dry fast. I know I mentioned it yesterday, but I'll mention it again. They've got a brilliant Doctor Filonov's website, Health Universe. So it's health, and universe is YOUNIVERSE. And they do great detox programs to start off with. And they've got a very good 21-day program that will lead you in to properly detox and then start the whole fasting process in a very natural and easy way. And I also have a lot of gratitude for just being in such a stunningly beautiful place to be able to go to sleep with the sound of the ocean is a real blessing. So I'll tell you more tomorrow. And today is my 5th day of fasting. I feel great, except for an extremely dry throat. And I've been trying to wear a tape on my mouth all day to try and keep the moisture in, because when you speak, kind of the moisture evaporates and your throat just gets drier and drier. Except that's quite a challenge for me because I tend to talk a lot. I had a night where I had like hot, cold chills all night. But that seems to have passed. And then this afternoon I got extremely hot. And the Doctor Filonov gave me an ice pack to put on the back of my neck to kind of cool myself down. Although my kind of the top of the head was like just normal. So it wasn't like I was running a temperature or anything. I just felt like kind of hot all over. I went for a most gorgeous walk along the beach this morning, and I have noticed that my eyesight has improved. I usually put drops in my eyes at night because I've got dry eyes, but I decided not to put anything in my eyes, which was a little tricky the last couple of nights. But I've noticed that it's almost like the body has been sending a little bit more moisture to the eyes to lubricate them. And I noticed this morning that my eyesight has definitely improved. So I'm thrilled about that. They have these therapy sessions. So every day you get to go and have a massage or a therapy session. And one of the very alternative healing modalities that they use is apitherapy. So using bees, and so the bee sting and the venom of the bee. Now, being an absolute bee lover, and the fact that my entire terrace has been planted with plants that bees love, and I have bees on my terrace from April through to October, I had a slight moral dilemma about the whole bee therapy. And I also have written, one of the books that I wrote is Discovering Your Spirit Animal. And so in that book, I describe bee medicine because it's one of my spirit animals. And bees are incredibly powerful healers. So the bee venom is well known by the ancients to heal things like arthritis and neurological nerve damage. But they were also considered to be the messengers to the gods. Even the ancient Greeks, they honored bees, and even their priestesses in the temple of Aphrodite were called Melissae, meaning bees. The Egyptians, the bees represented the god Ra, which was the sun god, and they could bring you immortality, deep healing, connection to magic, and the appreciation of a beautiful life. So they're very sacred animals to me. And the fact that I was stung 3 times today, and one of them is on the hand where I've had a huge amount of joint pain, and it absolutely stings. But when they basically use the bee to sting you, because then the bee dies. So this morning on my walk, I made an offering to the spirit of the bees, and I also did a shamanic journey to ask the bees what I could do for them in exchange for their sacrifice for my healing. So there you are. So yes, you have to be prepared if you come on one of these retreats to be open to all kinds of different healing modalities. And I decided that I was going to embrace the experience wholeheartedly. Thank you for listening. I'm on my day 6 of dry fasting in Montenegro with Doctor Filonov and his lovely team. I wasn't feeling at all inspired today, I must say. I've got a terribly dry mouth, and I spent the entire night coughing up bile and yellow gunk, phlegm from my lungs. So I was feeling really, really rough when I went on my morning 6 o'clock morning walk. Although in a way it's good I'm coughing up, I kind of feel that the limes has got stuck in the kind of lower part of my lungs. So I kind of think, okay, it's something that's clearing. But anyway, I was just feeling absolutely rough. Anyway, so I'm walking along the sea and I'm having this little chat to the sea, and I'm thinking, God, I'm never going to get to day 9. I think I'll just give up now. This is terrible. I thought, well, if I do, no, come on, Lucy, make an effort. If I do get to day 9, I think symbolically I need to let something go that represents my old life and all the pain and suffering I've had, etc., and illness. I thought, okay, so what's the most symbolic thing you can let go of? And I thought, my old trainers, right? Because, you know, I've been wearing them for ages, and I thought, okay, if I get to day 9, I'm getting rid of my trainers and I'm going to get myself a new pair, new shoes, new life, right? And then I thought, this is just terrible. Seriously, forget about the new trainers. I don't think I'm not going to make this. And then I looked at the ocean or the sea and I said, seriously, you don't seem to care at all what I'm going through, really. I mean, I started shouting at the sea. Not that I'm supposed to shout, because I'm supposed to kind of maintain the liquid that I've got in my voice because my throat's so dry. But I'm haranguing the sea, and I said, yes, you don't seem to care at all, do you, whether I'm going to make it or not? I need a sign from the universe. Anyway, because I'm not supposed to get wet at all, because when you're dry fasting, no showering, no getting wet, I was actually walking about 5 meters from the edge, you know, where the waves came up to. So I'm walking along, and suddenly there's this enormous wave that comes up, and I had to run, but I didn't make it out in time, and my entire trainers, my old trainers and socks, got swallowed up by the seawater. So I'm taking that as a sign that things are going to get better tomorrow, and I'll make it to day 9. Thank you for listening. I'm on my 7th day of the dry fast, and at this beautiful retreat place in Montenegro with Doctor Filonov and his great team. And my mouth is getting drier and drier, and it's more and more difficult to speak. So sorry if I come across a little bit husky. I had quite a good day today. I woke up in the middle of the night, and it was really interesting. It's like somebody kind of lit a match on a gas burner and then yanked up the gas flames. And I've been feeling so hot. It's like I could almost like, I feel like I could lie down in a bath of ice at the moment. So actually it's part of it's totally part of the natural healing process that I'm not actually running a temperature, but I just like inside, it's like, I feel like everything is burning up. But it's actually part of the whole natural process where your body decides it doesn't have enough either water or the different amino acids or minerals. And so it starts breaking down different cells. And of course, as the body's absolutely fabulous, it'll start breaking down all the cells that are old cells, not working properly, got loads of bacteria and viruses and stuff like that. So it's the kind of the furnace, I guess you could call it the furnace stage, where everything starts to burn up. Interestingly enough, the body is capable of transforming 1 kilo of fat into 1.2 liters of water. I find that absolutely amazing. And I haven't stopped peeing at all throughout the whole process. I'm on day 7 and I still go once in the middle of the night, once in the morning, as I usually do, and maybe 6-7 times a day. And my pee is, it's kind of bright yellow, but it's not dark, So it's kind of like quite amazing that the body has this immense capacity to heal. Anyway, I brought along Michelle Slater's book because I've been reading it again. And it's so inspirational. She went from lying in what she called number 1 bed avenue because she just couldn't get out of bed with Lyme's, to, getting her life back after her trip, a couple of months she spent in Siberia with Doctor Filonov and his team, dry fasting. So anybody that's got some kind of a chronic illness or that's been suffering for years from, it doesn't matter what it is in terms of whether it's Lyme's, Epstein-Barr, any kind of other chronic illness, cancer, etc. Dr. Filonov has really, you could say, done miracles. Or actually, it's our own body that actually heals us that is doing the miracle. So, and that miracle is brought on through the process of dry fasting. So I can't recommend dry fasting enough. You can see my mouth's kind of really dry today. And also I've been really blessed that Michelle Slater's joined us this week. And not only is she giving us fabulous morning gentle yoga, lying down on a mat, stretches and meditations. She's also leading a few yoga nidras in the evening. And she's even dry fasting with us to keep our spirits up. So really great book to get, and try dry fasting. Thank you. I'm on day 8 of my dry fast, and it's getting more and more difficult to talk. And I just feel hot everywhere, like there's this furnace burning inside, and I just can't get cool. But it's good because that's what I came for. It means that the body's going after every single lurking little bacteria or virus and every dead cell and it's burning it up. And my voice is so dry, it's difficult to speak today. So I have these beautiful set of cards called the Rose Oracle, and the card I pulled today was so perfect that I thought I'd just read you the message on the card because it's exactly how I'm feeling. So So this is the card that I pulled. It's the fertile void. This is a very auspicious card. It holds the potent golden seeds of a new beginning and the aftermath of an end. We're called to have patience and enter a state of deep rest, repair, regeneration, and acceptance. To let a part of our lives, or even who we once were, metaphorically die in order to seed, sprout, bud and bloom again. Thank you for listening. As you can see, I've pretty much lost my voice. I'm on day 9 of my dry fast here at the beautiful Montenegro retreat with Doctor Filonov and his team. I'm actually feeling better today. I think day 7 and 8 were difficult for me. But today's just been more of a day of rest, my entire body's kind of fizzled out, although I still feel like I'm burning up everywhere, but the nausea's gone. And that's it for today. Today was my first day of exit after 9 days of dry fasting. And, well, if you've watched the previous videos, you can see that I was sort of too hot and burning up. And I've gone from being burning up to kind of absolutely kind of really cold. So kind of interesting. It's like as soon as I exited, the fire kind of just dropped basically, and I'm kind of what I'd be normally doing, in that I'd have scarf, hat, kind of pullover, but actually I've been feeling really, really cold. It took me a bit by surprise this morning, because when I did my preparation, and I would highly recommend doing some really good preparation before coming, because I think that's key in terms of how your fast goes. And there is a great 21-day program on Health Universe, which is HEALTH, Health, and Universe is YOUNIVERSE. But when I did my preparation, I did a 4-day, 5-night dry fast at home, and coming out of it was so easy. Like, the whole fast went really well. Coming out of it was seamless. So I was kind of caught off guard this morning, because I did what I lit a candle and I picked a card for myself, and then I had my first sip of water. So what's kind of amazing is I took the sip of water in the mouth, and you don't even have to swallow, because it's like the whole of the inside of my mouth just kind of absorbed the water. And then what was kind of interesting is my body almost went into a bit of a shock, because I started absolutely trembling. In fact, I think I'd recommend anybody exiting from a long dry fast to actually have someone with them during the actual exit process for a first time anyway. And the thing is I'd been holding on kind of tight, that I need to make it, the full 9 days. That suddenly, with that first sip of water, it was like my entire body went woof, and it was like all the kind of the tension. I wished I was maybe more prepared for the exit of a long dry fast, but obviously it's my first one. Because I kind of would have tried to hold on sort of like a little bit longer. But it's like I was trembling so much that I couldn't even pick up a glass to take a second sip. And I felt amazingly weak. And it was like every sip I took, I couldn't even swallow it for, I don't know, the first half hour. And you sip very slowly, obviously, but it was like my body was absolutely craving water. And I spent the whole morning just gently sipping water. So, this is it. And obviously it's body temperature. So I'm going to have a little sip now. Anyway, as you can see, my voice has come back and the weakness has started to go. So it was really hard, but about an hour ago, I'm like kind of feeling a bit more myself. And the other thing, obviously, which was fabulous, was just standing under a shower. I've been kind of dreaming of showers. So just the fact of just kind of getting clean and that was really wonderful. So I am very proud of myself, and I've got a lot of hope for the future. Thank you for listening. And I don't know if you can hear, but there's the most amazing storm outside with the waves crashing, and you kind of feels alive with the energy of the elements. So I'm really enjoying it. I'm feeling so much better today. I'm on my second day of exit. Yesterday was really hard. It was a complete shock to the system, to such an extent that last night I'd sleep for like 2 hours and then I'd kind of wake up with water, and then I had to drink an entire like half litre. I've got these little half litre thermoses of water. I sipped it very slowly for about half an hour, and then I went back to sleep for 2 hours, and then water. And then so I ended up, I drank 4 litres of water pretty much between last night and this morning. But I kind of feel like all my whole skin, like everything's kind of going vroom, and it's kind of like it feels like it's becoming rehydrated. And I decided that my priority was really the whole rehydration. So I haven't slept that much today because I kind of spent the entire morning just drinking water, and then I started on compote, which is like this kind of, it's a bit like stewed, it's the juice from stewed apples, apricots, kind of whatever the kitchen can find in terms of dry fruit. And it's really important because it restores the glucagon levels that you lose when you first start fasting. And I got to chat to everyone, which I absolutely love, because of course my voice is back. Anyway, the interesting thing is, though, I'm still coughing up, mainly at night, kind of yellowy green phlegm, which is quite surprising after 9 days of dry fasting. But it obviously means that I've been running a chronic infection in the lower lungs. And I think that's where the Lyme's has been lurking for all those years. And every time I got a cold or an infection, I was always wiped out for like 2 weeks or so. And within day 2 of whatever cold that I got, I was already coughing up green. So, but I feel that it's slowly starting to go, because I've been doing bicarbonate soda inhalations, and they have this what they call honey massage, which you think is lovely. They spread you with really nice scented honey, and they gently tap away, and you think, oh yes, I could go to sleep. And then suddenly the hands, it kind of gets really sticky, and then they're going rap and rap, and it's like they're ripping, you feel like they're sort of ripping your lungs out. But I have noticed that about an hour after their so-called honey massage, I've kind of coughed up like a lot of kind of green stuff. So it's obviously helping to clear the lungs. And today I feel extremely grateful and fortunate that Michelle Slater is doing these fabulous meditations and easy yoga every morning. And today was just great because I suddenly started to feel I'm coming back to myself and I'm coming alive again. And the whole theme of this morning's meditation was about celebrating your life. What are the things you want to discard in your life? And what are the things that you want to keep and enhance? And what do you want for your new life? And it was absolutely great. And one of the things I've decided is that I'm going to only talk to myself and about myself in a positive and loving and kind way. So that's me for today. Thank you for listening. After a 9-day fast, I'm currently on my 3rd day of exit. So I kind of thought that once I'd actually completed the 9-day fast, it would be everything would be a lot smoother. And I hadn't realised that the whole detox process continues for 21 days. Because believe me, today I've got through 6 T-shirts and 4 pairs of trousers. I have sweated so much. I don't think I've ever sweated as much in my life. It's like kind of whatever the toxins are all coming out of the pores and the I don't know, my metabolism is kind of waking up yes, it's been an interesting day. Luckily, they've got a good laundry service here because otherwise I'd be out of clothes for tomorrow. And the nice thing about today, because I've been taking the exit very slowly, apparently you still continue to heal for the next 21 days after your dry fast. And I've been taking my exit extremely slowly. I did a whole day of water. Yesterday I did a whole day of what they call compote. They're sort of stewed juice of stewed apples and raisins and plums or whatever the kitchen can find. And this morning, I took my first mouthful of food. And I had a tiny little bit of millet. And I sprinkled it with a little bit of Swiss pollen, which was absolutely delicious. And it was interesting because in the meditation class this morning, which was wonderful, it was just so timely. Michelle was talking about mindful eating and making sure that you honour your body as a temple. And I realised that because I'd had so many difficulties or pain over the years, that I kind of separated my mind from my body. And I'd pushed my body probably to the extreme. So today's also been a day of forgiveness for the harshness that I've had towards my body. And my new resolution is that my body is my new best friend. After a 9-day fast, this is my 4th day of exit or coming out of the fast. And this morning I was thinking it's a little bit like the kind of work I do because I'm a feng shui and space clearing consultant. And so I go to people's homes and the first thing I do is I get rid of any clutter, any things that's blocking the energy flow in the house. And I also look at anything that adversely affects their health. So I check out EMF pollution, geopathic stress, if there's water running under the house, anything that can adversely affect the health. And my metaphor was that the dry fast was a little bit like this body is my sacred home, And I've successfully clutter cleared it and got rid of loads of debris over the last 13, 14 days or so. And this morning, as I was thinking about this, usually what happens when I wake up in the morning, what used to happen is I'd kind of sit up in bed and then I'd have to kind of twirl my feet, kind of sort of get them moving a bit. And then I'd sort of stiffly get out of bed and hobble to the bathroom. And this morning, I sort of kind of just jumped out of bed and went straight into the bathroom. And I thought, oh my gosh, it was like all the kind of rustiness, the joint pains had just gone. Like I've got this sort of new, I guess, fluidity in like all my joints and hands but everywhere, knees, feet. I'm absolutely thrilled. So that for me is kind of like, yes, clearing out all the debris and clutter clearing it. And then the other thing I do, obviously, is space clearing. And space clearing in people's homes is about clearing all the emotional blocks and all the emotional imprints and the old memories in the space and anchoring new astral light. So anchoring a new level of spiritual vibration in a place and also enabling people to anchor their intentions so that they can actually do whatever they want to do. And interesting enough, I feel like the dry fast has also been a process of not just clearing out the body as my kind of sacred home, but also sorting out the mind and clearing kind of the cobwebs of the mind. And I feel I'm in a stage of anchoring new intentions about what I really want in my life and what are the next stages of my life. And in Feng Shui, of course, once you've cleared the space, then you want to harmonize it. So you're going to look at lighting, you're going to look at mirrors to bring more light into a space, you're going to look at colors. If you adapt a place to the kind of energy, obviously, that a person wants. So, if somebody wants, more of a calm atmosphere, you might have sort of more low lighting, you might bring in blues or greens. If you've got somebody that wants more energy and super vibrant, you might bring in like oranges and purples and bright colours. And in a way, the dry fasting process, I found out that 70% of the actual healing goes on after the actual dry fast, so in the 21 days following the exit. And I kind of feel that's where I'm at. I'm harmonizing kind of my own sacred home, my own body, and it's about thinking about for me, it's about eating a healthy, organic, plant-based diet, but it's also eating with moderation, something that I haven't always done in the past. And it's thinking about the ways that I can really nourish myself, both the physical and also the spirit. So I am extremely grateful to Doctor Filonov and their entire team, and Svetlana, who's a great organizer. And I'm very grateful to Michelle Slater as well for writing her book, Starving to Heal in Siberia, and which was like my light bulb moment of realizing that in order to get rid of bacteria and viruses, you have to actually not just cut out sugar, because obviously sugar feeds the bacteria and viruses, but you have to cut out water because they can lay stagnant in water. So I'm extremely grateful. And I highly recommend dry fasting or detoxing. And I hope that this little series of lectures has inspired you to do something maybe different in your life or start a new adventure. They have Dr. Filonov has a great website. So it's Health Universe, YOUNIVERSE. And they have some great detox programs or light, dry fasting programs, or even coming on a retreat if you're interested. And if you're interested in any feng shui or space clearing, you can check out my website, which is Lucy, Lucy, Harmer, HARMER.com. And thank you ever so much. I have a lot of gratitude for you as well for having, if you've listened to all these, like my whole adventure and journey. Thank you.